Hello there guys, it's Stephen here, back with another video, and I'm going to put it into two parts today for you. Sunderland play Manchester City. I'm going to be a little bit of a preview for that, and also I'm going to do a little bit of an academy roundup because there's been two games in the past 24 hours. The under-18s this morning and the EDS last night, but I'm going to start with the Sunderland preview. I don't think there's that much to say, if we're being totally honest. We may as well start with Sunderland initially. They are pretty shit. I think that's the best way to describe it. They are a pretty bad team. They are awful at the moment. There is literally very little hope for the Black Cats. Their own fans have already given up and thrown in the towel for this game. They're sat at the bottom of the table, one win in 9. I don't think they've scored. They've only scored in one of the last 5 games, and in general, they are sliding towards relegation. So therefore, I expect them to beat Manchester City. I hope that doesn't happen, but I would not be surprised. They have got Jermaine Defoe after all, who does love a Manchester City goal, frustratingly. Denayer can't play, he is ineligible, but I can't say it. Papa Dilijiboji, whatever his name is, he's back. He's back now, available for them, so he'll probably slot in instead of Denayer there, who obviously can't play against his parent club. But yes, I would expect us to beat the Black Cats. That whole Black Cat hoodoo has been slayed a long time ago now, after a period where we went 4 games in a row losing 1-0 to them. We are very much past that stage now. We've won quite a few games in a row against Sunderland. We are in a great groove of form. I mean, it's pretty obvious what our strongest team is these days, give or take maybe the fullbacks. We seem to have a system that's really settled, and we're scoring goals for fun. We're scoring goals now. I think it's 10 in the last 2 games, and in general, we've got Aguero back to his very best. I made a big video about it here. There'll be a card and a little video description. I made a video about that the other day during the Huddersfield game, where I thought Aguero was back to his very best. And I suspect he'll be surrounded by Sane and Sterling. The midfield 3, in my opinion, would be then De Bruyne, Silva and Yaya. Fernandinho, I think, will play at right back. I think he'll be there. Clichy at left back. And then you choose the centre-backs. It's probably going to be Stones and Kolarov, if Kolarov's back available. If not, it'd be Esteemed. But Kompany is back from fitness, though I don't expect him to play. And Willie, I'm sure, will come in between the sticks. I'm really expecting that if we turn up, this could be a quite comprehensive victory for Manchester City. We should be winning this. I do think maybe David Moyes will have his players defending right on their own 18-yard box, a whole 11 men behind the ball. And I don't really blame him for doing it, but I think we should have too much nous, too much skill, and too much confidence at the moment to make it 4 wins out of 4 in the Premier League. And I think we'll win this. I'm going to go for a very comfortable 4-0, 4-1. Defoe's going to score, he always does. What do you reckon it's going to be in the comments? Let me know. There isn't loads to say about this game. I think we're in good form. They're in terrible form. We've got more or less our strongest team, sans 1 or 2 players. And I'm very confident about it. But I'll go into the academy reports now. I want to talk a little bit about the EDS last night. They won 3-0. And it was a very strange formation, like a 3-4-3. Maybe in a 3-6-1. Maybe in a 3-2-2. 2-1. It was really confusing, but all I know, it looked like at times Sancho and the main were playing wing-backs. We had a back 3 of Latibaudiere, Humphreys and Adarabioyo. Latibaudiere still obviously only an under-18, a first-year scholar, incredibly young. But he was excellent. He looked very comfortable at this level. They were ahead of Angus Gunn, who had little to do, if being honest. He made 1 good save towards the end of the game, but it was a pretty quiet night for him between the sticks. And in midfield, I thought Matt Smith was fantastic. He has grown in stature this year. One of those unsung heroes, a great little player, dynamic, creative, loads of energy, great in the tackle, very neat on the ball. And he sat and anchored the midfield alongside Congolo. I thought he had an outstanding performance. And he's still just a first-year scholar as well. Congolo was okay alongside him. Then ahead of those two was Fernandez and Denzel Boadu. Then obviously Sancho in the main out wide, and Brahim as a kind of like false number 9. So it was a very congested midfield. We had basically 6 midfielders and a striker as a midfielder. So there was a lot of space being taken up by several players in the same position. So Everton were pretty comfortable in the first half, just sitting back and letting us defend. The second half, Ambrose came on about 60 odd minutes in, and he made the difference straight away. The ball fell loose to him, a great little first touch, and he fired it into the bottom corner. Then the second goal swiftly followed as his deflected shot fell to Brahim, who did a lovely little flick and then blasted it in with his left foot. And as always the way, when the floodgates open, the third usually follows pretty quickly. And it was Jadon Sancho who got on the end of an Aaron the main cross, and he fired it into the roof of the net for, I think, his third goal under 23 level in 5 games. So yeah, it wasn't a vintage performance, but given the fact that Everton are top of the league, it was very good. We were in total control. Obviously, Everton, the likes of Holgate and Tom Davies, have now moved up to the first team squad, so they are missing a few players there. So it's not the same Everton it was that storms the top of the league, maybe, but I did expect a little bit more from them, though they haven't played a game in a very long time. But what does it mean now? We are 3 points behind Everton. We've only 4 games left, and we are 10 points ahead of Arsenal in third place. So it's a 2-horse race. They've got a vastly superior goal difference, but I suspect we'll give Everton a bit of a run for the money there. Sancho, he wasn't at his very, very best, but he still looked very comfortable at this level. And I was a little bit upset, a little bit frustrated for Denzel Guado. Obviously, he's had a 2-year injury spell, and he's still trying to find his best game. He looked a little bit lost last night. Fingers crossed he will get back there because he does have time, but he's realising that he's got a long way to go at the moment, but he's a fantastic little player, and not everything's coming off for him, but fingers crossed he'll get back, because 2 years ago he was a little star in the making. I was very good to see, very happy to see even Ambrose come on as well, because that was a very sprightly substitute appearance. He's a very likeable player with lots of energy. I also went this morning to see the under-18s against Liverpool, the all-conquering under-18s, and of course, after winning the title, having 1 game left of the Northern Premier League, and being unbeaten all season, we obviously lost it. We played Liverpool, the Kirkby training ground. I went there this morning, and it was a difficult game, a frustrating game. And I don't think 2-0 was fair at all to Liverpool. City, maybe apart from about half an hour of the game, City basically had the vast majority of possession. We created quite a few chances. On another day, Phil Foden could have had 2 or 3 goals himself. The ball didn't quite always fall. Maybe the wrong decision was made at the wrong time every time we went forward. But it was one of those things. How often do you see a team who won the league, who have a game then left to play, go and lose that game? It's like there's a mental switch somewhere, and it makes it more difficult for these players. Maybe it's team pressure, and maybe the pressure of being unbeaten as well. I think you could see it in the first 20 minutes. Liverpool were the better team. They scored, but then City woke up and they played excellent football. But then the spectre hanging over them of that unbeaten record started to play into their minds. They started to rush the passes a little bit. They were a little bit hesitant, some sloppy touches, and tried to force it a little bit too much. And that composure that was usually there seemed to disappear in the second half. And then some slight sloppiness between Muric and Ed Francis around the middle of the pitch. Muric running forward, a goal. Saw them break and fire into the top corner for the second goal, and after that it was basically game over. They did miss a few players: Lassie Bodier, Sancho, Matt Smith, 3 of the very best under-18s players of a very talented bunch of players. They didn't miss them, and that's going to be understandable. They are great players, and that kind of cohesion and chemistry wasn't quite there. No, I did think Ike Pozo, who stepped in at the heart of midfield, had a very good game, to be fair to him. He was very comfortable in possession. He was dictating play from deep and playing some lovely passes. And maybe we missed him when he went off. Davenport, though, replaced him, and he was great to see him back on the pitch after a little bit of a spell out. Poveda, for me, was my standout in that game. He did come off after getting a little bit of a knock, but he was a bag of energy and a bundle of tricks. He's had limited game time this season because he's been trying to replace Jadon Sancho, which is an incredibly difficult thing to do given all the talent we've got there, but he's a wonderfully gifted little player, and maybe he was one of the standouts on the day. In the end, though, it doesn't really matter. They've still won the Northern Premier League. A run is just a run. It would have been nice to go unbeaten, but now we've got the obviously combined top tier against the Southern League to go against the likes of Chelsea and so on, and I've got to hope we will win that. Fingers crossed we will do, and obviously soon we've got the FA Youth Cup semi-final as well against Stoke, a 2-legged affair. But yes, guys, that is my kind of Academy Roundup and Huddersfield preview all rolled into one. I hope you don't mind the bumper edition. I'm also considering doing these little kind of weekly vlog things where I want to do like personal vlogs, but I also don't really feel like I have an interesting enough day to warrant a whole video. So I'm going to like mash little bits of Wednesday when I went to gig, and this morning when I went up for a walk with Nicola to Lim Down, all that kind of stuff. And I hope you want to see that. Let me know if you want to see that kind of stuff in the comments. And also, as ever, thank you for the Patreons you've donated. Link in the description. And let's hope City will win. I won't be able to do a match reaction immediately after the Sunderland game because I'm in the studio tomorrow with my band recording. The game was rearranged a long time ago, meaning I can't watch it. Typical. But anyway, guys, see you later. Have a great Saturday evening, and let's hope City smash the Black Cats because it would be fun. I want to see David Moyes cry. Is that too harsh? Probably not. I don't care. Subscribe. See you later.